Chapter 2. This lecture we divided into two parts. In the first part of the lecture, I will discuss communication, networks, the internet, and the World Wide Web. In the second part of the lecture, I will discuss modeling and facilitating the use of digital tools. Communications, media, and networks are breaking down classroom walls, allowing students to view the world beyond where they live and learn. The list of communication media and networks have changed the way that people gather information, conduct research, shop, take classes, and collaborate on projects dramatically. Communications, sometimes called telecommunication, describes a process in which two or more computers or devices transfer data, instructions, and information. Today, even the smallest computers and handheld devices can communicate with one another. Here is a sample of a communication system taken from your textbook. As you can see, a communication system can contain many devices, and each of the devices shown has the capability to transfer information, data, and instruction. A basic communication system consists of the following equipment: two computers, one to send and one to receive data, communication devices that send and receive data, and finally, a communication channel over which data is sent. A communication channel is the path that data follows as the data is transmitted from the sending equipment, which is a computer or handheld device, to the receiving equipment, which is another computer or handheld device in a communications network. Communication channels are made up of transmission media. The most widely used transmission medium is the twisted pair cable. Standard telephone lines in your home use the twisted pair cable to transmit data. Digital signals are individual electrical pulses that a computer uses to represent data. Analog systems that telephone equipment uses to carry only voice transmission is a continuous electrical wave. For a telephone line to carry data, a communication device called a modem converts digital signals to analog signals. Older computers purchased for home use included a dial-up modem. A dial-up modem is a communication device that can convert digital signals to analog signals and analog signals to digital signals, so that the data can travel along an analog telephone line. Digital modems provide significantly higher data access rates. Examples of digital modems are cable modems and DSL modems. Local area networks consist of a number of computers connected to a central computer or server. Examples of local area networks are schools, office buildings, or groups of buildings. A wireless local area network is a local area network that uses no wires. Instead of wires, a wireless local area network uses wireless media such as radio waves. Wide area networks covers a larger geographical region and uses regular telephone lines, digital cables, microwave, wireless system, satellites, or other combinations of communication channels. A wide area network can consist of numerous local area networks. An example of that would be for a school district. A school district would make up the wide area network, and the local area networks will be represented by the individual schools in the district. If you have multiple computers in your home or home office, you can connect all of them together with a home network. Home networks can be either wired or wireless. A school network server connects all of the computers located within a school. Teachers and students who use the network can access software and data on the server. School or network administrators can limit access to specific records and software applications. We discussed the APRNet in Lecture 1. To take further advantage of the high-speed communications offered by APRNet, organizations decided to connect entire networks to APRNet. In 1986, the National Science Foundation connected its huge network of 5 supercomputer centers called NSFNet to ARPANET. This configuration of complex networks and hosts became known as the Internet. The NSFNet served as the major backbone network of the Internet until 1995. The Internet backbone is a high-speed network that connects federal, regional, local, and international networks to the Internet. Computers and other digital devices connected to the Internet work together to transfer data around the world. Data sent over the Internet travels over networks and communication lines owned and operated by many companies. Lines that have the heaviest amount of traffic are referred to as the Internet backbone. You can connect to these networks through an Internet service provider, an ISP, or an online service provider, an OSP, often using a modem to establish a connection. Each computer's location on the Internet has a specific numeric address consisting of 4 groups of numbers. Because these all-numeric computer addresses are difficult to remember and use, the Internet supports the use of text-based names. The text version of a computer address is called a domain name. The rightmost portion of the domain name contains a domain type label that identifies the type of organization that maintains the website. For example, if the website is maintained by a university, then it will end in .edu. If it is maintained by a school, it will end in .k12. If it is maintained by a government agency, it will end in .gov. Please see Figure 2-15 in your textbook for examples of domain labels and country code abbreviations. Professional responsibilities will require you to model and facilitate the effective use of digital technologies within your classroom and beyond. Please review the National Education Technology Standards for Teachers, Standard 3. You'll notice that Standard 3 goes beyond just communicating. It focuses on collaborating, not only with your peers, but with students, parents, and community members as well. Collaboration is more than communicating and more than cooperation. Collaboration requires active participation. As a teacher, you will need to maintain open lines of communication with students, parents, colleagues, and administrators. Class websites allow you to have presentation slides, lecture notes, announcements, class calendar, and due dates available to your students and their parents. Social media such as blogs can also be used in a manner similar to websites or newsletters. Schools are also turning to Facebook, Twitter, and similar social media sites to keep in touch with parents and greater community. A Facebook page can be a great tool for keeping parents informed, but it's absolutely critical to carefully control what is posted and to moderate what is being said. Friending students can also prove problematic, and that it may erode the boundaries between teacher and friend. Some schools and districts actually prohibit this practice. Schools often use email and text messaging for mass announcements and notifications. However, please be mindful. Discussing students' performance, whether it's academic or behavioral, is best left for face-to-face meetings or sometimes a phone call. Schools have long relied on volunteers to support their activities. Parents, business, industry personnel, and other community members can help support students' learning in your classroom by providing virtual field trips, serving as guest speakers, or participating in tele-mentoring opportunities. When you create opportunities for learning outside of the classroom and beyond the school day for yourself, other teachers, your students, or the community, you are extending the learning potential for everyone involved. Digital resources can enhance your instruction in several ways. When technology is used as a tutorer, the software explicitly teaches or provides practice with a specific body of content. When technology is used as a mind tool, it serves as a semantic organization tool, simulation and visualization tool, or knowledge building tool. Mind tools can include word processors, databases, spreadsheets, multimedia or web development software, concept mapping software, and other tools that help students and teachers represent, manipulate, or reflect on what they know. Lastly, technology can be used as a support for conversation. Digital resources contribute to conversations among learners and thus facilitate group and community learning. Before selecting digital resources, you need to know what role you want the resources to play. Based on the tasks students should perform and the way you want technologies to enhance your instruction, you can determine the requirements for the technologies you need. Once you determine your goals, you need to take action by selecting possible technologies to meet that goal. There are many ways to identify digital resources that may meet your requirements. First, investigate the resources available to you locally. They may be CD-ROMs bundled within your textbook, they may be websites, or open source software. Open source software is a unique category of free software that allows users to access and modify the underlying code. An example of open source software are TED Ed videos. Individuals are allowed to delete information or add information to videos based on the learning needs of their students. To evaluate educational software, websites, and other digital resources, begin by determining exactly what criteria you will use. You'll want to evaluate items such as: is the content valid? Does it avoid stereotypes and attitudes related to age? Does it avoid racism? What standards or curriculum goals are being addressed? Is it appropriate for a range of ability levels? Is the instructional approach compatible with your teaching style? Is it grounded in a well-established learning theory? Can you and your students benefit from the new technologies fairly quickly? Is the program documentation online available as a PDF file or as a user manual? How is technical support provided? Are there lesson plans, background information? What are the system and memory requirements? How much does it cost for a single copy? Numerous products may catch your interest, but in order to determine what is worth purchasing, you should either evaluate the resource yourself, find out if others recommend the title, or both. In addition, some school districts have developed software evaluation rubrics for their teachers to use. It's also useful to read reviews of the potential technology resources in order to narrow the pool of programs that you actually evaluate. Both software and hardware reviews are readily available in magazines or journals and on the internet. However, keep in mind that just because it is recommended by someone somewhere, it may not be appropriate for your needs. After you have conducted your own evaluation, you will want to try it with your students if you're going to use the product for instruction. Students are by far the most capable judges of the effectiveness of any digital resource.